Good morning from the Twingo channel. Well, today is MOT day. I'm taking the car out to warm the cat up and basically get the brakes working. So I'm going to really enjoy this. This is the first time I've really driven this car on the UK roads. In the UK, you're allowed to drive the car to the testing station without tax, as long as it's not too far. So I'm not going to go huge distances. Probably maybe 5, 6, 7 miles or something like that, just to warm the car up. But yeah, I'm really quite stoked by this. This is first time I've driven this car since I've purchased it, and hopefully we'll pass. Right, so first thing to do is to put a bit of fuel in it, some fresh fuel in it. So I'm going to go around to the petrol station and fill up once the windscreen has demisted. I'm rather excited on this. The last time I actually had a left-hand drive car in the UK was in the 1990s, and I actually had a Pontiac Trans Am I drove around quite a bit, and that was a lot of fun, that car. It was actually the night rider car, literally. So, myself and my ex had it, and we thoroughly enjoyed it, showing off. So yeah, this is really first time since the late 90s I've driven a left-hand drive car in the UK. Well, the petrol station's just here, it's quite easy. Probably put 10 litres of fuel into it, so. Was quite interesting. The lady actually asked me, "What is that car?" So yes, this car does attract a lot of attention in the UK. It really does. Let's just get me. I still think there's a coolant leak from somewhere. I can smell coolant in the thing, so not exactly demisting very well, is it? fan belt, so I haven't seen it, so I don't know when it was done. So the MOT testing station is actually just up the road here, literally. That sounded. But we're going to actually go up onto the A roads and try and get all the brakes all cleaned off and give it a little run. Get the catalytic converter warmed up so it can pass the emissions test. Apologies if you're shaking around there. Not much I can do with it. The mount I've got isn't particularly good. Tyres are working really well. This feels very very good indeed. Right, well, here we go. We're going to go up to speed. Turn that down. You might be able to hear me now. Clutch is a little jerky. People like it. You get a lot of looks. People do like looking at it. And, in the petrol station, she asked what the car was. Never seen one before. Out of it. Wow, what a noise it makes. Yeah, that's it. That's 70 miles an hour. Near enough. Right, braking time, here we go. It doesn't feel that great. I think it's because it's not been used for a very long time. It's been off, technically it's been off the road since March, since the lockdown happened, and the previous owners had a 6-month extension on the MOT, which was April to October, and then in October they actually decided to sell the car on to the Polish guy who I bought it from in West London, who only had it literally 6 weeks. He was going to fix it up and do something with it, but he decided not to. His circumstances, he said, there's another car came up which he wanted to put the effort in and the money into. So yeah. And he said he never drove it on the road. It was transported to him, and then I got it transported from West London. I'm very glad I replaced the tyres on this car because they were awful. They were cracked and bulging. There's bulges on the actual sidewall. It really was not in a good way. I have a funny feeling that this car was tested in France because there was periods on the MOT history where it wasn't MOT'd for like 2 years, but it had definitely done lots of kilometres. That Campbell, I'm worried about it. I think it might have a slight pull to one side. And it's actually fourth. MOTs. Oh god, you couldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding with this thing, but it's so much fun. So we're coming off. Done 23 kilometres. That's quite it's a bit more than I wanted. Into STS. Tight. Wow, that was interesting. Right, I'm just going to go and check the oil and the coolant, just to make sure that we've not lost much. Well, that was rather successful. Right, well, I've just walked back from the MOT station. It's about a mile and a half or something like that. I'm now jumped into the Renault Sport Twingo 133, the daily driver, and I'm going to go and get some breakfast, I think. Treat myself to some breakfast. I think the Tesco cafe is open, so I might go there and get some food. And yeah, they're going to phone me when they've done the MOT. They've got quite a queue going on. They said to bring the car down and I'll just be put into a queue. and they said there's about 2 or 3 people, or 2 or 3 cars in front of me. So yeah, so I'm going to get a call at some point during the day saying yay or nay, the car's passed or failed. If it passes with advisories, I'm more than happy with that. It just means I can actually sort of move it around and do things with it and start to do some more work on it. If it doesn't pass, that's fine. It just means that I've got a checklist of things I need to do. Right, okay, off to go and get some breakfast. Feels weird getting back into a right-hand drive car. Right, well, the status is that it failed on the rear fog light. Everything else is okay, 1 or 2 advisories, but it was missing the rear fog light on the right hand side of the car, and I've just had to go to Halfords and get a rear fog light. A bloody awful thing. Come on, focus, you bastard. There we are. As you can see, there is now a red fog light down by the towing eye, and yeah, so that's really what it failed on, because in this country you have to have the fog light on that side, on the driver's side, but as it's a left-hand drive car, it has it there. So I didn't know that. That was one of those obscure things. So it's now sitting there waiting for an MOT to be retested. That will be after lunch, and then I'm going to come back down, walk back down again, and pick it up. Hopefully everything should be fine. But apart from one of the front suspension dampers being a little bit weepy, everything else passed, so that's pretty good. Right, well, I've just had a rather sweaty walk back up to the car, to the MOT station, and I have a pass. So again, the 2 headlamp ones, that's going to happen all the time, because it needs the beam blockers to prevent people from blinding people. The brakes imbalance requirements only just met. That's the rear brakes. That basically needs new pads and new drums, and also probably 2 new handbrake cables. That's really easy. Yeah, I'm really pleased. That's it. He did say that there was a little bit of weepage from the damper, but he said he wasn't going to worry about too much about that. But I'm going to replace all the suspension over time. So yeah, I can now officially use this car on UK roads again. Right, well, thanks for watching, everybody, and I will show some footage today of me driving around Wiltshire. So I think the first thing I'm going to do with this car, now that it's MOT'd and usable, is I'm actually going to do the cam belt and water pump, and that's one of the next videos. I'm going to be doing that relatively quickly, possibly this year, maybe the weekend, I'm just not sure, to help allow me to basically do my car maintenance and repairs. He's a very friendly guy, Rory, so